Good afternoon, everyone. Pardon the background noise. Both of my brothers have just started their holiday and they're taking every opportunity possible to remind me of that. This is just a brief run through of my Q-Learning AI in work. So you'll see over here, the game has just begun between the two players, with both of them only owning one building. You'll see in my hierarchy, I have a Q agent R and a Q agent B. The Q agent R is for player 1, also known as the red player, and the Q agent B is for the blue player. So I've essentially created two Q-Learning AIs and I've pitted them against each other. And each of these different agents in my inspector window over here has 3 scripts attached. The red agent has got its agent script, its key handler, and its Q-Learn. And the blue agent has got the same scripts, but a different variant of each. So here is a notepad document just detailing what I'm about to run through if you'd like to pause the video here. And let's get started. So the scene contains 2 different Q-Learn agents, and every time Q agent R, the red Q-Learning agent, player 1, every time they make a move, that gets logged to the Firebase through a specialized saving mechanism. We're not saving any data for the blue player over here because in an actual game, the blue player would end up being the human player whilst the red player would be the AI. So there's no need for us to save the human player's moves. We're only concerned about the well-being of the AI. So every time a move is made, the Q agent R will save 3 different extremely important variables to the Firebase. And those 3 variables are the from key, the to key, and the name. So the from key and to key are simple strings, with the from key being the representation of the board saved as one lump sum string, and the to key being the same, but initiated at a different time. So the current state we've got of the board over here, this is the from key. The from key is created before the AI makes its move. If I were to hit continue, bam, the AI has just made its move and it's taken over a building. So this is what would be considered the to key. It is the representation of the board after the Q-Learning AI has played its best possible move. So what are we doing with these 2 sets of data? Well, we are taking the representation before, we're taking the representation after, we're also on the side creating a unique name, and we're sending through all 3 of these variables to a specialized Firebase database storage. Up there is the identification name, we have the from key, we have the name and the to key. So the first segment, if we're looking at the instance of the from key, is the representation of every building and who owns it. So you can see in between the from key and the to key, one of the buildings was taken over by a player because one of the zeros was converted to a 1. So the 1s are for player 1, the 2s are for player 2, and the zeros are for the NPC buildings, which are those purple ones. The next segment we've got over here are the levels of every building in order. Level 3 buildings, level 2 buildings, level 1 buildings. And finally, this last little bit of the string here is the respective population of every single building. And it's always arranged so that each building takes up 2 char spaces in this string. Building 1 has 60 people, building 2 has 60, building 3 has 20, 10, 10, and then 0, 5 for 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5. So this is a live example of this state of the board over here being saved directly through to the Firebase. And the idea is that these 2 Q-Learning AIs play against each other, and the Q agent R stores a library of different possible situations so that eventually we can get to a point where there are enough board positions saved into our library that the AI can cut out tedious processing altogether. It can just take its current representation and look for a matching from key in the library. And the best part of all is that Because every from key in our Firebase library is tied to a to key, our enemy AI agent will automatically know the best possible move to make in any given scenario.